Greetings and welcome to our season 5 kickoff here on Streets 989 Atlanta TV. I'm your host, the First Lady, EmCee Jazzy. Today we have a very distinguished guest that we're going to welcome to the studio. That is Emma Doss. She is the lady and the pepper. She's going to join us to share a little bit about her life and career and what services she offers that she may be able to provide for you. So let's bring her on. Hi, Emma.
Hi, Jazz. Good morning.
Good morning. What a beautiful day it is here in Atlanta. How's the weather where you are?
It's rainy and gloomy. It's September.
It's rainy and gloomy. Well,
Yeah.
guys, let me make a introduction of who we have in the studio today. Today we welcome the lady in the pepper, Emma Doss of Doss Media. She joins us to share her life and career with our audience here on Streets 989 Atlanta. Let's get started, Emma.
All right.
Awesome,
So,
awesome. What's going on, family? You have been quite busy since the pandemic, creating spicy sauces and sharing love across the world. Share with us more about who you are and your new endeavor.
so who I am, I'm of course Emma Doss, an entrepreneur who's been around the country, living in different cities, just creating my niches and finding out what works best for me. I'm a creative professional, and now I'm stepping into the food industry.
Awesome. Now, let's flash back. You moved to New York to launch your brand as a brand consultant and social media guru. Tell us more about how you came about this idea and how you made yourself a name brand.
So I went to school for visual communications, so I was always in the design world. And social media, when that exploded, of course, quite naturally, that was the second step. So I just focused, changed my trajectory. I had a cleaning company in Atlanta, and I was ready to start being more creative. So I went to New York to launch that company, DOS Media, because it was the right environment for creatives like myself, other small business owners who were just starting out and really needed creative services. They didn't know what else to do. They also needed social media management. So I just felt like New York was the media capital, the place to be. So I just
Mhm.
took the leap of faith and jumped out there.
And now, when you say you are a brand consultant, share with the audience a little bit about some of the services that DOS Media provides.
So basically, brand consulting, we create the whole image for your company. So a lot of entrepreneurs, when they come to us, they just have the business paperwork done, but they don't know anything about what they want to do next with their image. So coming from a creative perspective, I come in and I can tell them what I see visually for them, and then
Hmm.
I lead them that way because I want them to be able to be visible in the marketplace and excel. But they have to start out with a creative brand, a visual brand, a visual image, and that's where I come in to help them. And then also consistently speaking with their audience with the social media management.
And now you also have another talent, which as a creator, you're a photographer. You have captured some of the world's elite. Any memories or any moments that you would like to share with the audience?
It's so many. I would say
Yeah.
photography. I love it. It's a natural skill. I would say the most exciting moment one time at one event was for a BT event when I met one of my favorite singers, Faith Evans. It was a big deal to me and my friends because we all liked her. But it's been a lot of memories, but I was able to get pictures of her and she was very easy to work with. So that's just the memory that tops comes to the top of my mind.
Well, I know, when you think about photography, what are some of the aspects that you share with up and coming photographers as far as to capturing the moment that captures the eye?
To me, what I would share is just be natural. Try to get people candidly if you can.
Mhm.
Start out doing something completely opposite from people if people are your interest or your subject, if you're like working to become a celebrity photographer or something of that nature, because you really need to know your camera and become one with your camera. And so you can always start out doing landscape, so you can start out doing stock photography just to get a better feel, because in my opinion that's a form of candid photography.
Mhm.
Sometimes those are the best pictures. If you can get into events, even if it's not paid in the beginning, just go to those events, capture those people, get your name out there, and just stay focused.
Stay focused. So when you mention staying focused, how focused are you on making sure that you make an impact on the culinary industry?
Oh, very focused. Like, so I've always had a passion for cooking. Cooking is what calms me from all of the hustle and bustle with running a business. So
Hmm.
it's a form of art. I love it. It doesn't feel like work. So I am highly focused on seeing where this brand goes to, um, because you may be looking at your next beat.
Now, when it comes to creating your sauces, share with us a little bit about the hot, spicy sauces that you're creating.
All right, so I'm kind of like a go through the process kind of person. So I go in steps, picking out my fresh ingredients. And of course, I love spicy foods. I'm so known for spicy foods.
Hmm.
Friends and family, they hate that I make spicy food. But I have to go pick out my peppers. That's a big deal. And the mood has to be right just to be able to create the sauce, because it's an art. So a lot goes into it. I enjoy doing it. It relaxes me. It's a good process.
Now, I know I recently tried some of your jerk sauce. Do you have a bottle that we can display?
I do. So this is the best seller of
Hmm.
the Lady and the Pepper line, the jerk sauce. I could
Okay.
turn that the right way. um, so this is a 16-ounce jar,
Hmm.
and this can be sold or seen or purchased on my website, ladyandthepepper.shop. And this is like a $14 jar. But it's a lot of love in this jar.
I know it was very delicious. And
Yes.
you recently had a event here in Atlanta. Share with us a little bit about some of the aspects of your event.
So the event was basically like a tasting or an introduction to who I am, or reintroduction to people that I've been connected to in Atlanta, to let them
Hmm.
know about this new venture. And then just to attract other people who are into spicy foods, showcase my cooking talents on top of that. So I had a tasting at Midtown Collective in West Atlanta, or West Midtown Atlanta. And people came out just to find out who I was and see how everything tasted. And it was a pretty cool experience.
Wow. And now tell us a little bit about your background. Because to develop a taste for spiciness, it comes from early in life. It's not something that you just developed recently.
Right. So as far back as I could think, I think it's linked to my mother,
Uh-huh.
because I remember, I don't know if you remember, I know you remember Church's Chicken back in the day when they always gave
Yes,
you
with
that
those
jalapeno pepper.
peppers and the poppers.
Yes, yes. So that was her thing. And I think that might be where it came from.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Wow. Because, when you were talking about it, when I was at the event with you,
Hmm.
you were sharing how a lot of people, as they get older, tend to not enjoy spicy foods as
Right,
much.
right.
But your goal is to bring that back into their life. Some of your tastes were soothing. It wasn't as spicy as some of the foods that I've had in the past. So how do you make it appealing to someone like me?
I let you know that it's like a slow heat. It's a heat
Uh,
that hits you on the back end, like what you're saying. It's some foods are so hot it's uncomfortable as soon as you taste it.
uh-huh.
If you notice, the sauce warmed up on the back end, so I don't want to kill you up front with a bunch of spice. So that, because that kind of deters people, but I try to balance it out for anybody who normally doesn't even like heat. They could potentially really like this sauce.
Hmm.
Um, the other thing is spicy food, in my opinion, it can be good for your body too because of the chemical ingredients that are inside of pepper. So, I mean, it can even help you with weight loss if you consistently eat it. Not my product, but just spicy foods, naturally spicy foods. Um,
Really?
yeah, so pepper can help your body if you can tolerate it. So I think it's part of staying healthy, being able to eat naturally spicy foods if you can tolerate it.
Well, what I found is that often when people eat spicy food, they often drink alcohol.
Hmm. Really?
So, have you seen that that is a combination?
No, I haven't actually.
No. Well, how do they cool it? How do they? Because I know, like when we were together, a couple of people was like, "Ooh,"
The best
after
way
it, you know,
after the best way is anything that's milk based.
milk
So
goes.
milk based, or even if you just say you do want an alcoholic beverage, something that has a creamier texture or blend to it, that would help cool
Mhm.
you down right away versus just like water.
Okay. I don't know because when you think about Mexican food, people are often drinking. That's why I was
Yeah,
saying that, and
yeah.
they often have a lot of spicy
Hmm.
items on their menu. So
Hmm.
I just kind of correlated that and was wondering if that was a thing that you've noticed.
I didn't even pay attention to that, but now that you say that, definitely in the Mexican restaurant arena. Um, didn't even think about that, but that's interesting.
Yeah, but I know when I was overseas and doing a lot of exploring, I often did a lot of sampling of different cuisines. And I think that we are, as a country, probably has the most sultering type meals because a lot of people like spice
Hmm.
and to kick it up, as they call it.
Hmm.
Um, so let me ask you a question. Now that you've gotten started,
Hmm.
you're on a road.
Hmm.
What's next?
Next is product. Like, so it's a strategic step pattern. So I have the three products. I have the jerk sauce, as you saw. Then I have a spicy ancho or ancho pepper, however you pronounce it, seasoning. And then I have one more. It's called a spicy garlic. So focusing on these three products. Then merchandise is next. So if you wanted something like an apron, which I'm wearing, the Lady in the Pepper apron,
Mm-hmm.
t-shirts, hats, things of that nature, merch to wear while you're in the kitchen cooking. And then after that, utensils to cook with that are branded, and then eventually cookware.
So wow. So you're gonna be hopefully one day on food TV, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
We
definitely.
claiming it. We claiming it
Wait a
today.
minute. Today
Yes.
Show, all of that.
Yeah,
Yes.
all of that. We claiming it. This is just the
Yeah.
beginning. And often many people start with me and
Mm-hmm.
end up with Steve Harvey.
Okay.
So Yeah, this is definitely your gateway to getting out there. You've also done several articles recently. You want to share anything about that?
Canvas Rebel, I just recently did an interview for, and Shout Atlanta, basically just talking about my entrepreneurial background and history, and trying to share some words of advice for other up and coming entrepreneurs or people who are already, situated, just
Hmm.
giving a different perspective. So those are the two most recent, prior to your outlet, media interviews that I did. So
Well, I'm
I'm
sure
starting to
you're
get the
going to
word
be
out
getting some more opportunities to
there.
share, what you're doing and how you would like to continue to share this love of spiciness across the world, not just here in the U.S. So you were talking about some of the other products that you're
Mhm.
going to be, selling eventually. But
Mhm.
right now, they can go to your website and purchase. I know you have two or three jars that are available now.
Yes.
Oh,
So the website is ladyinthepepper.shop.
hmm.
So it's three flavors: the spicy ancho seasoning, spicy garlic, and then, of course, the jerk sauce. So it's three items.
And now, which one is the number one seller?
Right now, it's the jerk sauce and the spicy garlic. Those are the two.
Yeah, I think that the spicy garlic was what we really enjoyed. That's why I was saying it wasn't as hot as
Yeah.
probably the regular jerk sauce. Now, what other cuisines do you prepare when you're displaying your sauces?
Of course, I always do a whole chicken um, jerked vegetables for the event. Jerk shrimp and grits was one of the items.
Hmm.
I also made something called like a taco bowl, but it was seasoned with the spicy ancho. I used a dairy free sour cream option and blended the ancho seasoning in it and like built a taco cup, and that was a hit. People loved that. But I cook a lot of different things. I cook so many different things. So
Hmm.
if you go to my Instagram page, it's just Lady in the Pepper on Instagram. You can see some of my meals, and eventually recipes will start being up there as well.
Now, um, when it comes to shopping, everything is on dossmedia.com, or is that a separate Lady in the Pepper website?
That is separate. So dossmedia.com, that is the original business.
Branding
That's the
for
branding
branding.
company. So if you're a small business owner or entrepreneur and you need services for your business, that's where you would visit that. But then if you're interested on the foods in the food side, you would just go to ladyinthepepper.shop and then you'll see everything there.
Okay, and you say the sauces run from $14
Yes.
to is it just $14 for all of the sauces?
The sauce is $14. The two seasonings, the spicy garlic and spicy ancho, they're $10 a piece.
$10. Okay, guys, make sure that you go out and support the Lady in the Pepper, and make sure that you let her know that you heard about her brand and her product here on Streets 989 Atlanta TV for our season 5 kickoff. It's so amazing when I think about some of the things that you've done personally for me.
Mhm.
I just want to share this because you are a brand consultant and you did help me get my brand kicked off in
That's right.
2010 by
Wow.
creating my logo and creating some other literature for me. So
Mhm.
I really appreciate you. I look back now on all of this that I dreamt about, and it just
Mhm.
all of a sudden just fell into place. And people like you, whom I've connected with, like family, your family, and
Mhm.
it's so amazing to see all of the growth that all of us have accomplished in less than 10 years. So, if you put your mind to it and you stay focused on your mission, there is no limit to what you can accomplish in this life, especially in the digital world, because
Especially.
digital photography is your brand. And a
Mhm.
lot of people don't understand the aspects of digital photography.
Hmm.
and how it has changed the scope of photography, period.
Yeah, everything is accessible. I mean, and that's the first image, no pun intended. That's the first image that they see of your brand. So that
Yes.
has to be right. And it, especially when it comes to food. Look how many times you go on Instagram and you see somebody, they're out to eat or they cook something and they're in the moment and they post a picture and the food may really look good in person, but when it gets to social media, the lighting isn't right, the food looks dark. So it's all about that photography.
Image. Yes, image
Yeah.
is very important when it comes to creating anything.
Hmm.
But definitely food. That is our passion. You
Right.
can't go wrong. Not unless
No.
you just can't cook.
Well, yeah.
I
Right.
mean, that's in a nutshell. I mean, some people have it and some people don't. And
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that luckily I have it, so I can talk.
Hmm. Right.
But anyway, let's get back to you, Emma.
Okay.
When you look back over your life and you think about all of the challenges and all of the accolades you've received because you've done writing, you've worked with some of the major outlets, from New York, Chicago to Atlanta, and
Hmm.
probably abroad. So, are there any life experiences that you would like to share with the audience that has molded you into the person that you are today?
Oh, it's so many. I would say the biggest one is moving to New York because that was a huge feat. Like most people on the surface, when I was in Atlanta, they were like, "Why are you moving to New York? Your life looks perfect here." And I'm like, you know
I
what?
think I was one of those people.
And you know what? I was one of those people when I once I got to New York because it's the real thing. It's real life. And I'm
Uh-huh,
like, oh wow, should I have done this? But then once I got through the trials of just the transition and the culture shock, it was the
uh-huh,
best thing I could have done for myself because I needed the challenge and I really wanted to know if I could get well, I knew I was going to get DOS Media solidified in New York. You know, I just knew I was going to be able to do it. So
mhm.
the challenges that I went through to get that accomplished were well worth it. That was one of my biggest accomplishments. That's a big deal. A lot of people can't pull that off, especially independently without any seed money or backing or anything like that.
Wow. So now you're in Chicago.
Now I'm based in Chicago, Illinois, of course, and this is just, I feel like Chicago just helped me birth this Lady in the Pepper project. It just, the pandemic. So,
Well, that was my next
yeah,
question.
yeah,
You launch your culinary um, pursuit during the pandemic,
yep.
and
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about how that came about.
So when the pandemic hit, everybody just, I was just looking at social media like everybody else, and there was an explosion of all of these new products and a lot of black entrepreneurs. They were just coming out with product left and right, left and right. I think when the pandemic happened, it allowed everybody to be able to slow down for a minute and just think. And
Regroup.
so regroup, think, and it just really inspired me. I was like, you know what, I've been providing services all these years, even with the cleaning company. I was like, no, I need a physical product. So that's where I started to think. And then I was like, okay, and I love food. I've been cooking for years, but I need a physical product. So
And it's good to love food, but it's also better to be able to share it with those that you
share.
love. And that's
Exactly.
what I enjoy about you. Not only do you make a very good presentation, the
Hmm.
taste is out of sight.
Thank you. Yes, and I love, that's the reward, to hear that and to see people's faces, get their
Yes.
reactions. But the pandemic. So during that time, I just started perfecting it. Now,
Hmm.
having the advantage of living in Brooklyn, I tasted, that's some of the best jerk Caribbean food, period, in the States.
Right.
So I was able to compare that taste and know what I was looking for, looking to
Hmm.
create. So once I figured out that I needed a product, I was like, okay, let me perfect this sauce. Let me start with that. And so I just kept working at it and kept working at it, batch after batch, and then I finally got my flavor.
Wow.
And there was my
I tell
product.
you, New York really gave you an experience,
Yeah.
probably that you were not even thinking about when you first got there, because you never realized just how great the food is in New York and the different
Mm-hmm.
cultures
Mm-hmm.
as it relates to foods. Splendid opportunity there. You took that and you ran with
I
it.
ran with it. Yeah, but I didn't expect it. It wasn't my mission or motive. It just evolved naturally. That's how it happened.
Awesome. Well, Emma, when you get ready to do anything else, please let us know. Keep us posted on anything that you're going to be doing here locally in Atlanta. And hopefully, I'll be able to get to Chicago at some point to check out one of your fabulous events, because you really put on an amazing event. And just continue to stay focused on your mission.
Thank you so much. And eventually, I will be doing street markets, food markets. So around in different cities, probably here, Chicago, Atlanta, possibly Milwaukee next
Mhm.
door. So yeah, I'll keep you posted.
Emma, any final words before we let you go that you would like to share with the audience? You would like to share your websites, your info, anything else that you would like to share with the audience?
I hope that you got to learn something about me during this interview, and I'm interesting enough for you to check me out and try some of my products or services. Again, the website for the business consulting is dosmedia.com. That's D as in David, O, S as in Sam, S as in Sam, media.com. And then if you're just feeling a little hungry, you can go to ladyinthepepper.shop and check me out. And I'm also at Lady in the Pepper on Instagram and on Facebook.
Awesome. Emma, we thank you so much for sharing this morning on our broadcast. I look forward to having you back on when the opportunity presents itself. You enjoy your holiday and your work day, and
Yeah.
we will talk with you at another time, okay? Many, many blessings.
Thank you. You too. Thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome. One love, girl.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, guys, that was Emma Doss. She stopped by to share with us her true life experience. Guys, be sure to stream What You Love on our next up and coming show. It is going to be streamed on Thursday. We're going to be welcoming Mr. Barber from One Mo. He will be stopping by to share with us. I'm just trying to adjust my camera, it's slipping off. Anyway, it's been great for our season 5 kickoff. I hope that you continue to support our platform. I'm your host, the First Lady, EmCee Jazzy. Like to thank my guest, Emma Doss, for stopping by. She's out of Doss Media. She's also the Lady and the Pepper. Make sure that you check her out, guys, and support her as we support one another. Until then, keep God first in your life. We're going to get out of here today, guys. I don't have a video to share with you, but I do have a track by Katie Dawson, and that is You're My Everything. We're going to check that out before we get out of here. Unconditional love is what you give to me. And you're so beautiful, lady. It's so plain to see
Right here in love is where I wanna be. I wanna shout it out, tell the world about it. Way I feel about you, you're my everything. Let them know I never let you go, cause this feels so true. You're my everything.